Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And this Thursday, we finally have some NFL regular season football here.
Woo! Football!
Yeah! And it is time for me to give my award predictions for the season and as well as my Super Bowl prediction and pick for this season. So, I'm not going to make this intro any longer because we got some things to discuss. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. First, we're going to start with the comeback player of the year, and I think this is probably the favorite to win it, and this is going to be my pick to win it, and it is going to be Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets. And I really think the season that he can have with Garrett Wilson, with Breece Hall in the backfield, he only played 4 snaps last year, and then he tore his Achilles. He didn't have a 2024, a 2023, let's be honest. I just think at the end of the day, the season that Aaron Rodgers can have with this offense, I really think that he is going to be the comeback player of the year. He is the odds-on favorite at this point, and I don't see anything that's happening different. Joe Burrow could be in this conversation after he missed a ton of last year due to injury. Kirk Cousins can possibly be in this discussion as well, but my pick is going to go to Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets. Now we're going to go to the rookies of the year. Now, the defensive rookie of the year, my pick for the defensive rookie of the year will be Dallas Turner from the Minnesota Vikings. I still think it's a mistake that the Atlanta Falcons didn't pick him at number 8 overall. With the loss of Wanham, with the loss of Danielle Hunter, and adding a guy like a Dallas Turner into this blitz-happy Brian Flores offense, I think it opens so many opportunities for him during his rookie year to put pressure on a quarterback. I thought he was the best edge rusher coming into the draft. I still think he is the best edge rusher as a rookie. And I think with this Brian Flores scheme that he runs on the defensive side of the ball, Dallas Turner is going to be a guy that's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. You got Latu with the Colts, but I think the opportunities that presents himself in Minnesota, Dallas Turner is going to be the guy that gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, Offensive Rookie of the Year, we have some candidates, whether it's Jaden Daniels from the Washington Commanders, whether it's Malik Neighbors from the New York Giants. Drake May could have been a possibility, but he's not starting the year off as the starting quarterback. Bo Nix is a possibility as he's starting the season off as the quarterback in Denver, but this is not even a homer pick. This is the pick of the guy who has the most talent, and he has a lot around him, and that is going to be Caleb Williams of my Chicago Bears. Now, yes, some people are going to say it's a homer pick, but you got to think of the weapons that he has with the talent that we've seen so far in the preseason and the projection that he can be. You have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Gerald Everett, Cole Kmet, Rome Odunze, another fellow rookie who the Bears took in the first round, with the backfield of DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert. I just think that the things that he can do with this Shane Waldron offense, I think the numbers of him are going to be high, and I've made a prediction video on that, so you guys can check that out. And I think on top of that, he has the most talent with the most talent around him, so I think the opportunity is there, and I think I'm not going to say a runaway award because I really do believe in Jaden Daniels. This award, I think, is Caleb Williams' award to lose for the 2024 season. Now it's time to get to the Coach of the Year, and candidates for me range from Matt Eberflus from my Chicago Bears, Mike McDonald from the Seattle Seahawks, Jim Harbaugh from the Chargers, Robert Saleh from the New York Jets. But my pick for Coach of the Year is going to go to Raheem Morris with the Atlanta Falcons. This Atlanta Falcons team offensively was not good in 2023, and that was Arthur Smith. Defensively, they were so-so, and I think with bringing AJ Terrell, with bringing Justin Simmons along with Jesse Bates in the back end of that defense, Grady Jarrett still manning things up front, and you have an offense with now a solid quarterback and a franchise type of quarterback, even though he's at his older age, and Kirk Cousins. You have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, you add Darnell Mooney, you have Bijan Robinson in the backfield, and I think Raheem Morris, the things he's been doing defensively in the NFL throughout the last few years, especially his time with the Rams, I really think that this team is going to be number one NFC South Division champions. And two, Raheem Morris, I think he's going to elevate himself to one of the better coaches that we have in the NFL. And I think the leap that this Falcons team can take in 2024, I think is going to elevate Raheem Morris to be the coach of the year in the NFL. And I've always liked Raheem Morris' scheme defenses. They are hard to face. They're hard to go up against. And he, I think, is the right guy for this Atlanta Falcons team and Atlanta Falcons job. So he's going to win my coach of the year. Now we're going to go to the defensive player of the year. We have candidates like a Myles Garrett, a Micah Parsons, a Patrick Surtain II. Jaylon Johnson from my Bears can possibly be in that discussion because he's one of the better corners in the league. You also have a big thing of guys like a Nick Bosa who can be a candidate. Fred Warner, who has been one of the better off linebackers. Roquan Smith, a very good football player. But my pick for the defensive player of the year, I think it's going to be TJ Watt. I think the season he can have alongside Alex Highsmith, who I think is going to take even more pressure off of him, and Highsmith continues to be a better football player and a better pass rusher in this league. And I think the pressure that's going to be put a bit on this Steelers defense, and I think it's going to elevate a guy like a TJ Watt. He comes from that lineage of family. JJ, we've seen what his career was. I don't think the Steelers offense is going to be necessarily great no matter who the quarterback is. And I think a lot of pressure is going to be on that defense. And I think TJ Watt with Cam Hayward in the middle of that defense is still going to be one of the reckoned names. And I think the pressure is only going to elevate TJ Watt to becoming a better football player and having a better season. Even though I think Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons are really, really, really good contenders for this award, I am going to pick TJ Watt to be the defensive player of the year in 2024. Now we're going to go to the offensive player of the year, where you have potential candidates like Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, a guy like a Jamar Chase, a dark horse in this race, and I'm not just being biased, but I think with DJ Moore can be a really big dark horse in this race. AJ Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles, CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys. But my pick is going to be Tyreek Hill of the Dolphins. Even though I was one of those people that was questionable for him being the number one player in the NFL due to the top 100, the season that Tyreek Hill could have with Mike McDaniel as the offensive guru that he has been down in Miami, I think Tua can have an elevated season. And Tyreek Hill led the league in receiving yards last year, but Christian McCaffrey had just so much of a dominant season on both ends, receiving and rushing. I think now that Tyreek Hill is going to be the guy that really receives the nod for Offensive Player of the Year, even though, like I said, dark horse can be a guy like a DJ Moore. I just really think Tyreek Hill, with that number one player in football ranking, is going to do a little bit because this is a media voted award. So I just really think that a guy like a Tyreek Hill can win the Offensive Player of the Year. Now I'm going to go into my MVP voting. Patrick Mahomes, still a very big candidate. You have a guy, possibly Jordan Love, a dark horse conversation. Josh Allen, a guy who could be thrown into the conversation. Two-time MVP Lamar Jackson could be thrown into the conversation. We know this is a quarterback award, and I'm going to pick a quarterback for this award, and that quarterback will be Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, it's kind of funny that Joe Burrow was also my MVP pick last year until he got hurt, but I think putting on some weight for Joe Burrow, the motivation that this Bengals team has coming back, despite him not really playing a big portion of the season, started off with a calf injury, then he had the wrist problem. I just think the things that Joe Burrow can do in this Zach Taylor offense with the healthy self, healthy Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is back, and the offensive line that I still think is getting better. I think Joe Burrow is going to be the MVP in 2024. Now, you guys can check out my TikTok for my playoff predictions, and I'll probably post them here as well. I think the Super Bowl pick for the 2024 season, I am going to pick the Lions on the NFC side to represent in the Super Bowl. I know that's a crazy pick, but I just think this Lions team, Jared Goff, he's already been to a Super Bowl. Dan Campbell, if he can get out of his own head sometimes. And I think in that defensive side of the ball, with Carlton Davis bringing in and Aiden Hutchinson leading that pass rush, I really think this defensive side of the ball will improve from what it was in 2023. Offensively, with that two-headed monster with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs running the football, Amon St. Brown, Jamison Williams. I think Laporta at that tight end position, a big difference. And I think they have probably the best offensive line led by Taylor Decker from The Ohio State University. And Ragnar at center. Then you have a guy like a Penei Sewell at the right tackle position. I think this is a very, very good offensive line. Very good running game. Jared Goff, he doesn't make too many mistakes. And I think this team is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And the team that I think is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, no, it will not be the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it will be the Cincinnati Bengals with the healthy Joe Burrow, bringing Von Bell back from The Ohio State University. So that defense is going to, I think, improve them a lot. Trey Hendrickson as the pass rusher on that defense. Offensively, I've already talked about some of the weapons during my Joe Burrow MVP prediction, is that I think this offense, assuming Joe Burrow is healthy, and we all know Joe Burrow, for some reason, he just outplays Mahomes when they play against each other. And I think that will be no different. So I'm picking the Bengals versus the Lions as a Super Bowl pick. It might sound crazy, but I think this league is kind of spread out in 2024. So anything Super Bowl wise that a lot of people might pick, it wouldn't surprise me. But this is my gut feeling. It will be the Bengals and the Lions, and I think the Cincinnati Bengals will end up take home the Lombardi Trophy in 2024. That's just my opinion. I'm picking the Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Yes, a lot of people are probably going to give me criticism because I didn't pick the Ravens and they still have a lot of their team. I just think a healthy Bengals team is going to be a very, very hard football team to beat. And we already know this team made the Super Bowl in 2021 when a lot of the things were clicking on both sides of the football. So I think they take a lot of that experience from what they gathered there. And this healthy team, I think is going to be hard to beat. Despite the Chiefs going in the route of a three-peat, I'm going to go over my gut and I'm going to pick the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if I'm right or wrong, you guys can come back and probably laugh at me, but I don't care. This is just a gut feeling. And hey, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but I'm going Bengals versus Lions with the Bengals winning. But those are my award predictions and my Super Bowl pick for the 2024 NFL season. You guys leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I'm wrong, or do you think anything different? I would love to see what you guys think. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, I am APW Sports signing out. Peace.